The Elder Scrolls Skyrim is one of the most impressive open world games of its time.
That's good.
And it has sold over 20 million copies.
That's good.
And it has such an expansive world, allowing the player to do whatever they want, living out their medieval fantasies.
That's good.
But has anyone beaten the main story?
You sell toys?
Wait, what else do they sell?
With the beanbag onesie, finding a spot.
No, seriously, a game as coveted as Skyrim that is so popular they re-released the game on everything possible, including your car's dashboard.
Y'all will want to speak to you personally. Approach.
So, you were in Helgen.
With how popular it is and how many memes it spawned, I mean, just hearing the song, it's like, why is this so hype? To the insane amount of mods, to the Todd Howard.
Who's laughing now?
And yet, I don't think many people have actually beaten this game. Because I sure as heck haven't. When it came out, it was how the kids say, expensive.
No cap.
And so I found a copy somehow and played it on PC that way, which also made modding the game extremely hard since none of my files were saved in the Steam's folders. So using guides, they were like, open your Steam app common folder. Mate, I got this cracked. Why do I need the Steam app? And for the life of me, I cannot remember the main story or even if I completed half of it. I think there was like a dragon and an elder and a sky and a rim. So I asked my friend if they had beaten the story too, and they responded, I got to some cringe mountain that one-shot me after I did a ton of side quests, so I gave up. Oh, did you mod it? No, was on the Switch. And so this put a burning question into my mind for this review and retrospective, just how many people have actually beaten the Elder Scrolls Skyrim main storyline? So one way to check this would be the Steam achievements on the game that I actually bought now. Okay, Todd, you happy? I bought the damn game finally! And the Dragon Slayer achievement is what you obtain once you complete all the main story quests. I won't spoil what happens in it at this point in the video, just know, well... Okay, how high is the literacy rate in the USA? Oh, wow! Then you will love this stat! Only 12% of people have beaten the story on this version. And if you love that stat, you should know that 85% of my viewers have not petted a dog in the past week. Do that, they'll be very happy. But okay, this is not a good stat because the special edition is like the complete edition, which adds in the DLC and some other things compared to the original, and then they made another edition to be even more complete. Both editions still have bugs. Todd, you've done it again! So then I found the original version. You can see the original stat on the base game because I think a lot of people who bought the newer versions, yeah, they probably have beaten the original game, right? They just bought this new version for the more complete package, the mods. What? I mean, it's pretty obvious why. Have you seen how many mods this game has? Oh god, what is Pikachu doing? So yeah, on the original Steam release, it's 31%. A third of people have beaten the story. Now to compare that, I thought, okay, let's try some similar games. The Witcher 3, it's 23%. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's 33%. So I guess for these big type of games with lots of side stuff, a third of your audience is pretty normal, right? And checking PlayStation and Xbox, well, PlayStation had 40%, and Xbox, well, oh damn, now I know why Starfield is on the Xbox. So okay, numbers were not on my side, but that's when you check out the non-statistics. You know, the vibe, the feeling, the emotion. Or just ask people on Reddit. And I think that can summarize it. What main questline? As even though people have beaten the storyline, you still have them not remembering what the heck happened because it was just... and even then, among all the people who have beaten the game, you still have as many others who haven't yet have hundreds of hours in Skyrim. And so I went to Twitter to ask my followers this exact question. Have you beaten the main story in Skyrim? And with 6 votes, they all said no, which is crazy because I have 100 followers and 90 of them are bots! Come on, man, stop catfishing and just vote in my poll! Oh, seems like they have better things to do. So, what does this all tell me?
Inconclusive.
And one Reddit comment said, the main quest is like 3 hours long. How have people not done that? So that's what was bugging me. If so many people have on record beaten it, it's a short story, it sold so many copies, why have I not seen anyone anyone talk about the final boss, the epic lore, the things you do. And it's kind of the reason why for this review, I wanted to revisit Skyrim and actually beat the story this time, because maybe there was something to it to explain this inconsistency. Was the main story just that bad that people didn't feel compelled to beat it, or were they distracted by every little side quest that was more enjoyable? Because there has to be a reason why, for one of the most successful games of all time, it still has thousands of people every day playing it. When you have all these other games on Steam, they are choosing to play Skyrim and not beat the main story still. So why? But before that, how? The year is 1995, where nothing really happened. But then in the year 2011, Skyrim released to the world, ushering a new age of open world benchmarks. So this may be shocking to you, but 87% of my viewers haven't beaten Arkham Knight on PC with a keyboard and mouse.
Oh, the humanity! Anyway.
Skyrim is part of the Elder Scrolls franchise. Yes, Skyrim, the name is so popular, some people didn't even know it's the 5th game in the Elder Scrolls franchise, where the first game released way back in 1994, called the Elder Scrolls Arena, and then they released the next game in 1996. Oh, so that's why there's nothing happened in 1995. There was no Elder Scrolls! So yeah, I would like to try out these games at some point, but for now, Skyrim followed the very successful Oblivion, set 200 years in the future, announced in 2010 to be released 1 year later. And it was to be directed by one Todd Howard.
But the day it's coming out, and that right time is...
I mean, this is a guy who would walk past Bethesda Studios every day to school and would repeatedly ask to get a job there. And finally, in 1994, they hired him and he began work as a designer for Terminator Future Shock in 1995. Oh hey, that year again! And he rose up the ranks, eventually heralding Oblivion and Fallout 3 to then Skyrim. And so the development began, where they aimed for it to be more vertical than Oblivion. You see that mountain? You can scale it! Well, you gotta like try to shimmy sideways for a few minutes to collision against the pixels and the polygons upwards. And the game's themes were to focus on racism. No, really, I was shocked learning this now, because apart from the random remarks of the characters,
stay out of trouble, elf.
I saw in one town the citizens getting mad at this one race, and then I never saw this brought up ever again. That, or I just kind of zoned out on this fact. Either way, Skyrim was improving on everything Oblivion did, from the engine, the graphics, the player AI, and launched on the date that both Americans and the rest of the world can read, 11th of November, 2011. And to say it was a hit would be an understatement. Within 2 days, it sold 3 million copies, 7 by the end of the week, and in 1 month, 10 million, where by June 2023, it's claimed to have sold over 60 million units. And on PC, it was explosive, with 230,000 people playing it at launch, and this was in 2011 when there were no other games like Space People with Guns or Pokemon with Guns. And its legacy has been huge. Numerous awards, influencing other games like Breath of the Wild, which is fascinating to me because I always see people praise that as peak open world game design. And yet nowadays, I feel not many people talk about Skyrim in the same vein. Like the general population has moved on from it and kind of forgotten that it actually still does have an amazing open world system. Also, it's credited to have influenced Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns, ruining the gameplay they had from the previous games. So that's nice, I'm very happy with that. It also releasing in the year of peak internet, playing into the meme culture where the shout was everywhere online, and then, of course...
I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
What did you say?
And because of the success, they ported Skyrim to every console possible. Everything you could think of, you could play it on. From portable to VR. It became such a joke that Bethesda even joined in themselves when they released a very special edition playable on Amazon Alexa.
Crab scuttles towards
First
you.
Roda!
I didn't catch that.
First Roda!
I didn't quite catch that.
First Roda!
So fun time for Todd and his team. But how does a game like this play? Because it's kind of unique in that it's a first-person open-world game, and in a fantasy setting with swords and bows. And so the combat is this. Yeah, this is kind of funny. So you gotta equip things in both hands, from weapons to spells, and each hand is tied to the left and right mouse click, with you holding it down to charge attack or to use spells. And you can't really spam it because you also got this magic bar and stamina, so you can't really spam physical hits. Then you can two-hand weapons to using a bow, so there's actually quite a lot of weapons and playstyles. On paper, but in reality, you're just mashing the buttons a lot. And it's incredibly finicky, as you can't lock onto enemies, so that when you get surrounded, you just Which means if you have allies, you better hope they don't get in your way because...
Friendly!
So below is your health bar and above is the enemy you're attacking, and you can pause mid-combat to open your inventory to swap out items and use items. Some weapons have this tiny bar, which means they have an elemental charge like this sword, which will burn on hit, but that does run out and you need to refill it. It's like, man, there's so much behind the scenes to this combat, you know, the groundwork, but the actual combat is just so goofy looking. But you do get used to it after a few hours. There's no real tactics, you can just manage your stamina a bit, but it's mostly bash your head against the enemies to win. I guess that's why a lot of people, myself included, rather play this game as a bold man. Now the world, after a few main quests, you're able to just go anywhere you want and do anything. As one thing I love about Skyrim is that nearly every single NPC is important. Yeah, no more just entering a person's house and Pokemon to laugh at how they live. Every character is voiced and will mostly give you a side quest to go out into the world. And it appears on your map with a 360-degree compass strapped to your forehead, pointing you in the general direction you need to go. You do get fast travel when you unlock areas, and I honestly found the best strat was to just open the console command, bump up the running speed to unlock a bunch of places to teleport to later. But yeah, you can enter dungeons which have small puzzles like spin these things to open the doors, finding important items related to your quest, or just other items you do not know what to do with, but I'm so sure this little random piece of item, I'll need it later, so you pick them all up and then you can drop them also anywhere in the world.
Hollyfrost farm outside the city.
Bro, don't you know how many calories that is? But what ends up happening is you just pick up everything, just in case you might need it later. But Todd, in his wisdom, added an inventory limit, and that if you go over it, you walk very slowly, so that when you unlock the followers, who, oh yeah, they help you out in combat, but more importantly, they become your pack mules. Sorry, Lydia. I know I just found this coin, but I need you to carry it. Also, here's 500 dragon bones. And so you have these big towns, home to major quests, where you meet a cast of characters tied to that city and deal with their problems, as the game also follows a day and night cycle, which the NPCs do follow. If they gotta wake up early for work, they do that. If they gotta stay up late to watch a streamer in a different time zone, buddy, I got so many eye bags. But that means they go home at night and lock their doors. So you actually have to lockpick in, which is its own minigame, spinning it around to open just to break into their homes to go, yo, I finished your quest. Hey, wait, don't arrest me. And you also got many skill points from playing the game. Doing stealth gives you stealth, weapons give you weapon skills, and you can level these up from your overall level, where every level increase gives you skill points to use. And these skills are things you can unlock, like say stealth, you can be more quieter and crouching. However, a lot of the stats with the gameplay are just from the weapons' damage numbers. And also every time you level up, you can increase your base health, magic, or stamina. So that's the general gist of Skyrim's gameplay. The game also does have quests with choices, which you should be saving a lot, since you might be forced into a choice you didn't like. But also it's like you could accidentally kill an NPC, and they might be important to a quest, so it would lock you out of it. But also note, if you do play on PC, you have access to the console command, which can fix a lot of problems like this, as well as the numerous mods that can improve the game, making it more playable. But for this video, I wanted to play Skyrim Special Edition out of the box, just how Todd intended, and how we intended for the main story to play out, which is, well...
Hey, you're finally awake.
Bro, were you watching me sleep? That's kind of creepy, but also, it's kind of hot. So the basic premise is that we literally just walked into the wrong place at the wrong time, where this guy called Ulfric Stormcloak assassinated the High King of Skyrim by shouting him to death. Bro, it's just words! Put some AirPods in! And yep, the king's assassin is just sitting here next to us, and we are all taken to be executed. And it's a very tight setup.
Rebel, you can't do this. You're not gonna kill me.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Anyone else feel like running?
Who are you?
And so you get to make your character in the first person game. Don't worry, you can scroll out the camera angle to see your character at times, but I know you're not going to. So you got many races to play as, from Thor, Cat, or...
It's Zuckerberg.
And after 10 minutes? Yeah, it's not the most in-depth character creator. For reference, in games like this, I usually spend around 30 minutes to create a character, but it's just manageable. And here I created the High Elf Charon, spelled like that. It's hard to pronounce, I know. And so with Karen, we get unique racist dialogue.
With the Falmer Embassy, are you, High Elf?
Praise be Todd Howard. And for that remark against Todd, we get put to the chopping block. But just before we become French,
Sentries. What do you see?
It's in the clouds.
yo, this is so cool. I sure hope I won't get bored of seeing the dragons in this game. And now we can escape in the turmoil and get a choice on who we get to run away with. Muscular man or other muscular man. But it's the same sort of thing, just a section to teach you about the mechanics. And as you will see, Skyrim's mechanics and leveling up can be a little bit busted, because if you repeatedly attack, say, an unkillable NPC, yeah, this is actually a really good strat. A lot of skills can be used to level up here. Like sneak attack, you can get that up to sneak attack the NPC. You can use different weapons, one-handed, two-handed, or so on. The game will just have these NPCs unkillable because just in case, it might break things 50 hours later in your playthrough. And so you pick up weapons and foods that can be used to heal while also finding coins for currency and many, many books for you to read.
Talk about a preachy book.
But reading books can also help you learn spells. It's like you never know which book will be worthwhile, so unless you're a Giga lore lover, you will just skim through them all just to unlock some random spell. If the reader has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in the series, he should close this book immediately, for I shan't recap. Oh, moly, the ego on these authors!
You're a writer, all right.
And you can also pillage bodies to grab any items they had, including their clothing, whether you meant to or not. Hey, I clicked the wrong button! Yeah, so I think you'll probably end up doing, because this cursor is the most stupidest cursor, I want to curse the cursor! It never clicks on the thing you want, so you end up pressing R to just take all items, which then eventually clogs up your inventory, because there's no filters to sort through it, no recent items, you gotta scroll through it all the way down. And remember, 50 hours later, what the hell? Why did I pick this up? And yeah, this cursor, it's hard to even see what option you're picking on in the dialogue. In my entire game, there was so many moments where I would accidentally have the NPC repeat the same line because I couldn't tell which dialogue choice I was hovering on. I highly recommend using the arrow keys for this. And while you're accidentally clicking,
That ought to stick together down here.
no!
Misinput!
Well, he's not that important, I hope. Anyway, we'll make it through, bonk some people, then pick up a bow to bonk a bear. We'll do that. And while exiting the cave, that guy is like,
You're on your own, pal.
and then Todd goes to us, hey, you want to do survival mode? Where you have hunger and die like in real life?
Oh, thank you.
So we head to Riverwood where we tell the guys,
I'm seeing freaking dragons.
You look like a traveler. Someone that has seen far away
hey, wait a
places and new
minute,
stories.
that's Noel's voice from my second favorite game of all time. A guy who voices Max from Goofy, who's barely in video games. He was in Skyrim, like a lot. He voices so many NPCs. Oh god, this is too uncanny for me. Also, yeah, when you're in someone's house, what would you do in real life? Why, would you take all their items? Oh no, that's stealing, which is a no-no. But I mean, if you do it, you can't sell the items in the general stores, as then you have to find specific people who will take stolen goods, like Walmart. But then if you get caught, the guards remove all your stolen items anyway, so there's no real incentive to do it. Oh yeah, so you're not meant to steal. I get it, Todd. Anyway, the guy helped us. His dad's brother's son's dad's uncle is like, bro, dragons haven't been around for ages, so this new dragon is big news. Hurry and tell the Jarl of Whiterun.
But I've no doubt he'll prove loyal to the Empire in the end. Ah, I forget you're new to Skyrim.
Yeah, old man, I don't know anything about this game. So the Jarl's Kingdom is the neutral place in this war, the Stormcloaks against the Empire. And you can learn about them by talking to people here, where they usually have multiple dialogue options to help expand on the lore of the overall world or about the town and their everyday life. And you might get a side quest or two when you keep talking to them. So here, Ulfric has created a rebellion group called the Stormcloaks because the Empire had banned the religious worship of Talos. And now this place has so much tension at the the moment where you literally have just stumbled in here and then now saw a dragon, who as a species have been dead for very, very long. But before that, I wanted to explore Riverwood. Well, I can't really because it's nighttime. Everyone is home, which is kind of annoying in the realism. In that, say, if you have an important quest in the town, but the NPC is sleeping, you then gotta wait for morning or take the time to go to the inn, rent a room, and then sleep till sunrise. Or you could just break into people's houses.
You're new around here, so I'll go easy on you. But don't get on my bad side.
What the fuck you say to me, you little shit?
And when I say this is a really good open world game, I mean it. Because nearly every single NPC has a quest for you, sometimes even multiple. The innkeepers are the best with their rumors.
There have been whispers. A boy up in Windhelm, name of Aventus Aretino.
And these will show up as places for you on the map, so you at least know where to go to complete the quest. Like here, we gotta head up and clear this bandit mountain, but something keeps hitting me.
Mr. Krabs!
Also, I got my first follower, Sven, who is voiced by Noel. And yeah, that's the whole reason why I picked him, okay?
I've got your back.
Yeah, we love you, Noel! Now, another thing Skyrim tries to do is stealth, and oh my god, it's the worst and best thing ever! For now, it sucks because we're just a prisoner high elf, and when you're crouching, you're meant to be hidden. But if an enemy so much as glances at you, even in this state, you get spotted. It's just a really bad system in that you don't actually know who's looking at you. The direction of their gaze is just suddenly detected. And you're going, wait, what? Who's looking at me? But once you unlock more skills in the stealth skill tree, it gets really fun. And so I take care of the bandits, and oh my, it's the Skyrim helmet! The iconic one! I must take it! Hey, don't look at me like that, I need it for the thumbnail! I also will say with how goofy the combat is, I really enjoy the archery. You have a wind up to draw the bow, and it travels further the longer you hold it, and it helps more with stealth kills. However, it can be annoying with the enemies moving around a lot. Also, yeah, you got a lockpick to break into chests, and you have to tilt the lock and then press up to turn it, and if it's the right angle, it will unlock. But if it doesn't, you gotta keep turning slightly, adjusting it until it breaks, and then try again. I saw people online absolutely despising this system. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of like it. The sound effects, the calming nature of it, it's really just a vibe as I try to break into someone's valuables. Also, is it just me? But with the gold in this game, okay, so like, you know, the day and night cycle, it's realism, okay. But with a land with multiple races and countries, isn't it a bit odd in the realism when the gold you always find is the same currency? I mean, it would be more annoying if I had to convert everything to this town store. They won't accept euros. But when every single ancient tomb has the exact same gold coins, come on, I want to see different made up currencies like pounds and shillings. Also, these dungeons are full of traps. Well, not anymore. And thus begins one of the only puzzle types in the entire game. I think it's pretty much in the entire game. We have to use the environmental clues to match pillars and then spin them around. So we find this guy Arvel, who will say he'll help us get a super rare item in the dungeon if we free him. We do so, and he runs off to grab it himself. Hey, get back here! And we find these skeletons, so we band together and win!
Why won't you die?
Cleared out, I guess.
Oh. But the traps aren't over with this pendulums of doom. I head through easily, but Sven...
Stop it! Leave that man alone!
Thankfully, the followers don't really die to these traps, but it can bug out, so like I said, you should save a lot in this game just in case, because if they die, they will be gone forever, you know, because of realism. Yet you can open the console command to bring them back. But fret not, because when you enter most places, the game does auto-save to give you a chance to load some recent-ish save point too. And so the other puzzle I mentioned that is like the 2 times in the entire game, you find this claw and rotate the discs to the right animal. And the solution is when you find from Arvin's journal that the answer is on the palm of the claw item, so you can spin it around. I forgot about this feature 2 minutes later. Anyway, we finally head to the end and find the boss skeleton who... Did he just try to first row dare me? Well, we win and we get the important Dragonstone tablet from him, which you will need to progress the main story. So it turns out this side quest actually was a secret main story quest, because if you didn't do it here, you will be told later, oh, you need to bring the Dragonstone to someone, so you have to come back here. As you also learn one part of the shout, Foos, the shouts being the dragon's powers that you can use, where saying the words in order is the full power, so you only have one part of the meme here, and you find the words on these walls like this, usually in dungeons, and there are more meme words later on. Also, yeah, I should mention you do also get spells you learn from scrolls to use, and you can equip them to either hand, be attacking or healing, but I personally was trying to make Charon an assassin stealth type of character, because you know these high elves, they do be sneaky, even though she's like 2 meters tall, but Charon, she'll fit in with the stealth characters, okay? Well, now we can finally head to Whiterun, and yeah, if you scroll out on the mouse wheel, you can see your whole character in third person, and continue to play with that same combat. But I don't know, it kind of feels weird to mash the swords this far away from the action. The game also does give you moments in third person, like when you forge equipment, it pulls the camera out, but then other times when you want to try on new armor, yes, each armor does show up on the character from the shoes to the helmet, you don't actually see it in the menus, so you have to actually zoom out to see what it looks like. It kind of feels like this third person was an afterthought kind of thing. So before Whiterun, we find this brewery with an uppity old owner and his books. The Cats of Skyrim.
Meow.
So, well, we head to Whiterun and the guards are like, whoa, hey, you can't enter. What's that? You saw a dragon? Got any proof? No? Okay, in you go. And straight up I meet Ysolda, who's like, bring me a mammoth tusk. And also, I really like the Khajiit, the cat race. Like, I really like them. Okay, thanks for telling me that frame one of meeting me. But I remember from that dungeon just outside, there were these mammoth bones. Oh, come on, why is there no tusk here? So we learn to forge weapons and armor by smelting materials we pick up. I have found that honestly though, you will just find better weapons by wandering around, but there are some really cool endgame armor. I mean, bro, really do be cool looking. So I head to the inn, and as a night person, man, wake up and talk to me! You know, I kind of feel bad for this. Whoa, hey, I wasn't doing anything, I swear! Anyway, I talked to the guards to get a bit chummy with them. You never know when having guard friends can come in handy.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
What did you say?
So in Whiterun, we have this guild called the Companions who just beat each other up. This is one of the many guilds you can join, and you can join them all, which start major quest lines that you can do apart from the main story quest. This one in particular, I don't really want to do. I mean, they're just beating each other up. That can cause brain damage. I wanted to do more of the stealth ones that don't cause brain damage because they kill people. So I will try at least 2 of these by the end to see what these other stories are apart from the main quest.
I'm a bard by trade. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Heard of you? No, I've been hearing nothing but you in this entire game!
I don't live in the past like those gray men.
Hey, wait, isn't that... And so this person, Uthgerd, is like, okay, fight me. So I fight her. Oh, this game is so unserious. Why is he singing? Well, time to head to the Jarl's Palace.
Nice place you got here.
And I got lost and end up in the royal quarters.
Can a man have a bit of privacy? Get out of here. That's close enough.
Stop right there. Smart woman. Now, come along with us.
Wait, no, my stolen items! So we tell the Jarl about the dragons. He says, okay, talk to the court wizard who knows more about dragons. And he's like, bring me a dragon stone.
Find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Ah, the dragon stone of Bleak Falls Barrow. You already found it. You are cut from a different cloth than the usual brutes.
And now I can continue the main quest, and the thing you'll notice is that because the NPCs have their own schedules, when you go through doors, they will also walk through and continue walking, meaning if an NPC has to move, they won't teleport to that spot, they will actually walk through the map in the environment, meaning you have to wait for them to load through each door. So here the Jarl, I have to talk to him, yet...
All this standing around is rubbish. We should... My brother takes counsel from Proventus Avenici.
Not now.
What a laugh.
Because we have to wait for all the NPCs to walk over here, we just gotta stand here. I mean, the realism, it's crazy for 2011, a game that this was doing this kind of thing. But I feel for some parts, the player doesn't want to just stand here doing nothing, waiting for NPCs to walk to their marks. And because of our efforts of telling an old man we saw a dragon, he makes us a Thane of the Jarl. That easy? Yep, and now we can just steal things in the city and not get into any trouble and be a landowner. Okay, BRB, I'm gonna tell my local councillor I saw a dragon and then maybe I can finally buy a house. Now his soldiers also saw another dragon and asked us to come with. So I went with Uthgerd, who can now become my follower because we beat her up and we head there.
No signs of any dragon right now.
Bro, why did she unsheath? And we have a dragon fight, which is a main aspect of this game. It was marketed to hell, and I don't like it. Yep, the main gimmick I actually don't like in Skyrim, because a lot of the time, they're just flying overhead. Oh no, it's cool to see. Wow, oh yeah, they look like dinosaurs with wings. I love that. But you only get a few windows of chance to actually damage them when they hover still for you to shoot, as they're just zooming about the place. Then they will land, and you can whack them for a bit. Then they fly up again, and you rinse and repeat. There's no real change to this formula. But we kill the dragon and absorb its soul, meaning we can now... Oh yeah, do not forget to loot the dragon, as they have dragon bones and scales, which can help you get one of the best armors and weapons in the game. It's a really cool idea to make weapons out of these dead dragons, but also if you don't like it, you can just sell them for a ton of money. However... Oh lordy, are they heavy? So I gotta drop some things to get under the carry weight limit just to be able to walk normally. So apparently people overheard some shouting in the mountains when we return.
We're causing no trouble. All we ask is to... I don't care what you're doing.
Okay, even I heard that. And the guards go, we must be dragonborn, someone who can kill dragons and absorb their powers. So they tell us those greybeards are the ones summoning us. They're yelling over the mountains to summon them to their home, since we are important now. And a dragonborn hasn't been seen in ages. Well, I guess that's our next goal, to continue the story, as we are the super duper main important character after all. And as such, being a Thane of the Jarl,
The Jarl has appointed me to be your housecarl. It's an honor to serve you.
she can now be a follower. However,
The title born to your service. Looks like you've already got someone with you.
sorry, Uthgerd, it's Lydia time. She's so dreamy. Well, time to see how this new duo will handle the enemies.
Sign him.
And yeah, it's also funny because you move faster than any NPC in the world. And remember how I said NPCs do not teleport to you? Well, this means with a follower, this happens a lot. Also, I found this super cool bow that has this enchantment that as long as you have this bar with a charge on it and you have empty soul gem items, you can use this bow to finish off enemies, and if you have the right size gem,
Steal your soul.
But you want to complete these camps too, as on the map it will go to a grey icon, meaning you have cleared it out and there will be no more enemies spawning here ever again. But yes, while looting I ran into the problem. Oh man, I'm so fat and heavy again. But this is where the follower is handy. Just dump it all onto her, especially the dragon bones since they are the heaviest. The follower will keep it on them even if you dismiss them, so it's kind of like an immortal movable save. But yeah, this carry limit is so frustrating. When you want to explore so much and just carry everything, it's like in early Pokemon games when you were catching Pokemon and they tell you your PC box is full, so you have to go all the way back to town to change your PC box, and then you miss catching that Pokemon. I get that exact same feeling here, but now in a 2011 game, which I love to explore and take things. No, I don't want to micromanage everything I grab, because also, where do I put all this stuff? I'm too poor for a house. So for now, Lydia will take care of it.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Oh no, she's mad. And as if hearing my pleas, Todd crashed my game. Todd Howard!
Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second. I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke.
And and still being annoyed about my carry problems, I learnt online that, you know how your followers can carry, well, then, why not random chests or barrels? Oh yeah, there's a chance that it could be wiped out. You can actually store your items in some random chest or barrel that you know won't be gone as you jump around the areas. So if you find one in a main hub city, you can actually store your items there. So I decided to store the bones in this barrel here. Hey, wait a minute. Someone left something in this barrel. Impotency, huh? What does that mean? And this is the upgrade tree where after you level up, you get perks to use on upgrades or different aspects of your life. Yes, from weapons, lockpicking, even talking.
Officer Bowles.
And as a stealth person, I wanted to upgrade that, which makes, it harder to detect. So it's a slow start, but we're going full stealth time. And thus begins the open world. We're literally on the way to the Old Man Mountain. I saw so many things just from wandering. I saw a guy reviving corpses at a shrine who attacked me, got into a fight with a crab and a saber-toothed cat, raided another bandit hideout, got stopped at a bandit bridge who asked for money to pass. I said... And that led me to wiping them out on the whole bridge, including using the summon to call a dog spirit to help attack, clearing out another bandit hideout, gawking at the moon, getting mugged.
All right, hand over your valuables.
Call an ambulance!
You like a
But
fish.
not for me!
Finding out there's a society who hunts werewolves and vampires, then finding this town and clearing out another dungeon with so many doors to open and draugrs, this other type of enemy you will see a lot in these dungeons, till Lydia got separated from me and I was all alone.
It's dark and scary. I don't want to be here.
And the reward was some new shout that soothes angry beasts. Okay then. And so begins the climb up the Old Man Mountain, and I gotta say, for a 2011 game, this looks really stunning. Just how the whole landscape is visualized and how you're able to visit a lot of these places. Such a stunning world to get lost in. But yeah, okay, later, it does feel kind of samey with the dungeons looking the same type of enemies and decor. Although with how many dungeons there are, I really appreciate you never see the exact same layout. Like, they all feel purposeful in their design. So I can see them, yeah, okay, they didn't put much effort into making everyone feel distinct when you got 50 of them, and mostly being optional. Anyway, I climb up the mountain and spot, oh no, it's that Star Wars thing, and die. And because I didn't save, the autosave was at the bottom of the mountain. That was 15 minutes of climbing I would have to redo. And I don't know, maybe it was me tiring of the same slow walking speed, the same combat, or whatever I touched from that barrel, but I used the console commands. No, come on, all I did was slightly improve my movement speed. Yeah, after tweaking it over the course of the game, I found that 3.2 times movement speed made this game so much more enjoyable to run around. However, it meant Lydia would often get left behind a lot more, but that was fine. As usually, I found that when you fast travel to a new location, it does actually reset the follower to your location. They don't have to run all the way across the map to meet up with you. So I guess that's to help stop any bugs from that happening. But note, the running speed is in engine, so... yeah, you can get hurt, but it's so much more fun. Oh, I gotta grab this again. It's so fun! So yeah, on PC you can open up the console command and it's a menu where you can say change your player's speed, spawn any NPC you may have killed, and many other things. It's incredibly useful in this game, which seems so massive with how interconnected everything is. But now, I'm invincible!
What have you done?
No, you can kill your followers? Yep, they can't die to enemies or traps, but if you get in their way or vice versa, they can die. And remember how I said in combat you don't know who you're whacking? Well, I reload because we have been through so much together already. I ain't abandoning you.
I am sworn to carry your
On
burdens.
second thoughts, well, we head to the top and meet the Grey Beards, and man, are they old. They talk so slow.
Focus on honing your voice. Where is it? Do not let your easy...
A reminder that this is part of the main quest, and you just gotta stand there still, listening to these old dudes yap on and on. And so they teach you the second part of the meme shout, as well as a new one that lets you dash through quickly, which you will only use once in the game for a puzzle. And you map these to the Z button, and you can only use them once this bar ain't blue. And you gotta retrieve for them a horn to be able to learn the final word of the meme shout. And I gotta say it, Man, was this boring. Seriously, it took like 15 minutes of them slowly explaining the dragon shouts, and you cannot do anything, just hop about and listen to them. It's not looking good for the enjoyment of the rest of the main quest so far, everyone. Well, then for some small side quests, to actually get the reward from them, you actually have to head back to the quest giver, and in this case, it was the Jarl, who was once again sleeping at night.
Friend. Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward. What is it that you need? You can't take that. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense? Oh, forgive me, Thane. I didn't realize it was you. We'll look the other way this time. But even the Jarl's influence has its limits. Be more careful.
So then I head to this side of the map and find that I'm being attacked, as these cultists have been sent to kill me. However, it's funny because the guards make short work of them as there's violence in the city. And so this unlocks a quest where you got to enter the cultist base to find out why they want to kill the Dragonborn. But that's a little later because I wanted to make sure I guaranteed my sneak, make sure I can live out my fantasies of Karen being the sneakiest elf ever. I want it to be unnoticed when I do these quests. And the best solution? Remember the tutorial? You know what it is to do? You go to the old men and crouch stab them multiple times till they almost die. Then you move on to the other old men while the other one's regaining health. And after 10 minutes, whoa, yes, I maxed out my stealth. Just make sure they do not detect you. Oh, hey, sorry, I just wanted to level up. I'm sorry about your back. And so I can max out the stealth skill tree, which allows Charon to finally sneak attack. As randomly in the game's combat, you will do a really cool finisher to finish off an enemy, and each weapon has multiple animations, but now you can do sneak attacks where it's an insta-kill if you do it while you're undetected. But like I said, this combat system is kinda Skyrim. And so wandering around again, I found a dragon. As when you're running around, you can encounter them randomly, and they are annoying because they take so much of your time trying to kill them. I just want to explore. I don't want to waste time fighting you. Thankfully, I appreciate it more now because in my original hacked copy of Skyrim over 10 years ago, I don't know if it was cursed or anything because I kid you not, I was seeing a dragon every 30 minutes, which is a lot. I was so full of dragon bones, and here it's the same again, but not as bad. However, I found if I kept my glitch running speed high, I could negate the carry limit in that, bro, I'm so quick, nothing can slow me down. And so wandering around, I came across these giants and then find this random orb, who this lady Merida is telling me to place the orb somewhere all the ways over, and it's cold. And I'm like,
nah, I don't really feel like it.
Also, I kind of wish you had more control over your followers because, you can give them better armor and weapons so they can defend themselves. But sometimes in these trapped dungeons, well, I would like to, do something about this. So to get the horn for the old men, you gotta sleep at this inn, owned by Delphine, who is part of the Blades, a secret society.
Now we can talk.
You seeing this, Lydia? She goes, okay, I took the horn so you would come to me now because I need your help. And she thinks the Thalma elves are the ones who are reviving the dead dragons. And now look at me. I may be an elf, but I want the dragons dead too. And she wants us to see the next awakening from some intel she has. While we can now give the horn to the old men to learn the final meme shout for the word.
Word of unrelenting force. Da.
Where you gotta hold down Z to fully power it up. So now we go to see who's reviving the dragons, and turns out it's no elves. It's a dragon. Yep, the big bad Alduin who is reviving the dragons.
You do not even know our tongue, do you? Such arrogance to dare take for yourself the name of Nova.
And so we gotta fight his revived buddy, and man, I was really getting tired of the dragon, so I tried a new console command, which kills everything in the area. So I win, and wait, Delphine and Lydia, oh no, what happened? Yeah, I think the command kind of glitched, so that it's a warning for gets using these commands. It's trying to kill the NPCs who are unkillable. And turns out Alduin is a dragon we saw at the start of the game. Well, I don't know, I mean, they're telling us they are the same, but I don't know, they don't look that similar to me. Delphine, however, goes, those damn elves, It must be them. So we gotta somehow find out if they are responsible for the dragons. Well, if you say so. But I still have the pressing issue of my life and, you know, being targeted by... So I head to this guy on a boat, and after some convincing, he will take us to the cult's hideout, which is a place off the map. I guess this is the scenic route. Oh, guess not. Let's try it again.
All right, you have a... Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there.
Bro, we haven't even moved! Well, on to the next big town, Windhelm, where we see... Oh no, racism!
You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Do you hate the Dark Elves? Are you here to bully us and tell us to leave?
Hey, wait, I'm on your side. Let me go attack!
And it isn't. In fact, just about anyone who isn't a Nord.
Great. Now I lost him. I did a quick save and everything. And here in this town, I finally realized after thinking, you know what? There are a lot of high detailed model items in this game. It would be kind of pointless if you couldn't like inspect the items, you know, and carry them around. And, well, yep. Oh, wow, you can do that.
It's honest work, if a bit dull.
Well, okay, I thought this time I would finally do one of the guild's quests, the Dark Brotherhood, which I remember really enjoying when I first played the game. And the first step is to enter this Atheron house. I break in, yet there's no one here. I then talk to all the people named Atheron, and still cannot find the kid named Atheron. Wait, Atheron? It's Aventino. Bro, I was breaking into the wrong house! Well, his house is open once you overhear these two talk about how this kid lost his parents and is trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood, an assassin's guild, so they can fulfill his quest to kill his old orphanage lady who was very mean to him. And this place is in Riften, a very seedy town, where you have to bribe the guards to enter.
Hell nah. I think we're on the wrong side of the town.
So I take care of his job.
Nobody wants you.
Yo, finally some stealth kills, yay!
Hooray! We love you, Dark Brotherhood!
Man, these kids are messed up. And so after this, wandering around, you get this note from the courier. And what you're meant to do is now go to an inn and sleep for 24 hours, because then you will get kidnapped by the Brotherhood. But I swear, on the way to the inn, I got distracted again. So firstly, I realized that if you're talking to someone in a building and then you leave the building mid-convo, they will always leave the building with you to make sure they finish the sentence like, oh, wait, what am I doing out here? And then go back in. And then I got stopped by this guy, Sam Guveni.
Oh, that's Italian.
Who challenges me to a drinking contest. Haha, you puny alcohol is no match for us high elves.
Hey, you don't look so good.
Wake up. That's right. It's time to wake up, you drunken blasphemer.
So we wake up in Markarth and have to find out where this Sam guy went through talking to people and undoing the mess we did, but also in this city.
Did a jewelry for your journey home?
Oh, this pendant would look lovely on my...
Hey! Victory is yours. I submit. We are the rightful rulers of Markarth!
What is even happening? So here to find Sam, I then stumble upon Alduin summoning another dragon. Oh, come on, buddy. Hey, shoot, get out of here. So then we overhear someone lost their goat, and you gotta get it back for the guy to tell you where Sam is. Or, if you gurr loudly enough...
Name's Ennis. Okay.
There isn't going to be a wedding. The least you can do is give the ring back. That was one of my best pieces. You went right out to give it to your fiancé.
Fiancé? Also, fiancé? That damn Sam! Well, we find the ring and it transports us to this place. And it turns out Sam is this guy, Sanguine, the Daedric Lord of Debauchery. Yeah, but hey, buddy, you gotta apologize for all those pranks!
Just a prank? Just a prank.
And to let bygones be bygones, he gives us the Sanguine Rose, which I remember loving so much originally, and it summons a Sanguine minion, who doesn't do anything apart from make billions of dollars at the box office. Well, time to get kidnapped! And we wake up in this shack.
Grelod the Kind was, by all rights, a Dark Brotherhood contract. A kill that you stole.
Well, I need to win her favor, so we only have to kill one of the captured people. But I really wanted to join this group. And Astrid is super wowed, so asks us to join the Brotherhood, where we enter and have to kill contracts to work our way up. And you already got a bunch of people here.
Don't let my appearance throw you off. I'm older than you. A lot older. Getting bitten by a vampire when you're 10 will do that to a girl.
The ravages of age.
Oh yeah, I accidentally broke the game in that you do the speed multipliers for movement. It's only temporary. It stops when you start up the game again. But you can actually permanently boost the speed, which is then very annoying when you want to slow down. But I find you can minus the speed to fix it, so yeah, the save file is still okay. So we got 3 contracts to kill, all different kind of people, and perfect for our stealth playstyle. But on the way, I see people who wave me down for some help.
Traveler, over here. That's close enough, fool.
Oh, wait! And they were vampires at somehow. By the way, while playing this, I actually didn't notice that the entire time, so...
That's not a good sign.
And back at the Brotherhood, we get word that the headquarters are bringing over the dead old leader of the cult to our base with its helper Cicero, this clown. Wow. Now we got a clown. And Astrid's husband is Geralt the Witcher.
Ah, there you are. Good. I was done speaking with that muttering fool anyway.
Kill, he's right there!
Oh, Cicero takes care of our lady's body. Oils it, preserves it.
And Geralt, he's a werewolf, so Astrid has a werewolf husband. Oh, you're one of those people.
Later, Hamhock.
Later, Wolfbeard.
I hunger.
Oh, is that the vampire in me? I'm sure it's Spade. Well, now at Riften, a very happening place, you can also join the Thieves Guild, who are like the Dark Brotherhood, but they don't kill people.
What weenies.
Since we're not the Dark Brotherhood, we're not going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. And so their quest is to literally in public, 4K cameras everywhere watching, for us to pickpocket this bozo and swap out the items in his pocket in public. Thankfully, the Riften populace don't seem to care about this giant high elf just crouch walking in public. I should also mention you can pray at these stones to give you special powers. And if you pray at a different stone, it overrides the current power you have. And I found this shadow stone, which lets you go invisible for 1 minute, but it's kind of annoying in that you can only use it once a day. And with the day and night cycle and it being really hard to keep track of that in dungeons, it usually meant that once I use it, I would forget for hours when I could reuse it again. Oh yeah, Riften's Jarl isn't as nice as Whiterun's.
Can't a woman get a moment to herself? Leave me! I'm not gonna warn you again. Get out or I'll call the guards. You should have listened. Guards!
Okay, I'm leaving! And we had one quest was to make this girl happy by proving her boss was sleeping around. Interesting way to get some dopamine. As for some reason her boss, when she received the package, she would give the dude the Mark of Dibella. Like, congratulations! You cheated on your wife! Have a trophy. So we gotta steal those items to confront her in public.
Filthy pickpocket.
Hey, they didn't say how to steal them. Well, I do it and the girl is happy.
It was my father's, but I'm certain you'll put it to good use. Sure, leave. Not like you care anyway.
You got some weird kinks, I swear. Well, the whole point of doing all these Riften small quests is that it improves your standing with the Jarl, showing that you're a man of the people. Or a 2-meter tall giant elf with a hard name to pronounce. But you need to increase your standing with the Jarl, because it's really hard for it to do so. But now you can buy a house as a Thane, and a cheaper one too than Whiterun. Guess all that crime rate lowers the price. But it's now a safe place to store all your items, I mean dragon bones, because, oh man, we got a lot of them now. Well, time to move in.
I was trained by some of the finest...
Excuse me? Get out of my house! And I guess turning into a homeowner means... Oh great, now I'm a vampire. This is a joke about landlords being vampires.
That's funny for so many reasons.
So it begins my process to get rid of this apparent vampirism, because if you leave it long enough, you permanently become a vampire, which actually influences your interactions in public. I think it makes ladies want to sleep with you more till they read the books and then realize it was a snooze fest. Look, it was a trend to read these books, okay? I didn't know she would suddenly want to get with a furry. Why would you do that when you're gonna kick a Chad Batman already? You know. You would make a really good live-action Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII. Now, the quick solution I found was to open the console command to actually change your character's features, which it brings up the menu wherever you are. However, I didn't realize is that it kind of treats this as a new character in that your save file splits into two, as you got two characters now. And after all that, I'm still a vampire, and I don't sparkle. Worst of both worlds, to be honest. So then I learned if you pray at any shrine, any god, just go, hey, please heal me. They will heal any kind of vampirism. It doesn't work on me. So that must mean I have advanced vampirism.
Lady, could you spare a coin? Hi there. Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart. It's since I wound up here, but...
So what the heck? Adopt a kid? Girl, I have my own problems to solve first! So while dealing with my infinite aging, I decided to continue the Dark Brotherhood quest, who their god is called Sithis. Wow, reading is fun! And the next quest is to fulfill a contract and murder this lady in broad daylight. Well, easy enough. Time to make my sneaky getaway. Heh heh heh.
Hold it there. Keep your distance. Another girl kill. Served me a drink just a few nights ago. Susanna's the third. It's always the same.
Well, you might want to not look around the corner. Well, that's done.
Oh, very good. Very good indeed.
So Astrid is like, okay, I trust you, but I don't trust that clown. He's kind of a bit too cozy with the Night Mother, which is kind of weird because it's a corpse, and he might be planning to overthrow us. So I want you to hide inside the Night Mother's coffin and listen to what he says. You want me to what now? Okay, this is kind of creepy.
For you are the one.
She's like, yeah, the clown's not the listener person. It's a person they call someone who can translate the Night Mother's words for the clan. No, that person is us. Well, obviously because we can hear her now. And she says to go and speak to this random person somewhere else. We then tell Sorcerer the news that we are the listener instead of him.
He is back. She has chosen a listener. She has chosen you.
And he takes it pretty well. Astrid is like,
what?
Because she's kind of concerned the dead old lady is still commanding the Brotherhood. It's like she's the hip new modern Brotherhood. We don't need to listen to some granny old corpse. But us hearing the granny's words worries her. So she sends us on an assassin contract to mull things over. And you know what that means? More random dragons! Yes, horse, help us out! So with that done, Astrid is like, okay, maybe meet that person the Night Mother told you to see. And they are hiding in this crypt which is very long and so many enemies where I ran out of charge in the Sanguine Rose and had to use those souls I sucked up to recharge it. And turns out this 10-minute long dungeon, Aman, the contract, was hiding at the start on some side door that I missed. And this guy is like, I want you to kill
the Emperor.
Yeah, sure, I guess. And he gives us an amulet to prove it's real gold that he'll pay for this, although Astrid is still very sus and asks us to appraise it from one Delvin Mallory.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed.
So it's real, and also it's funny that this guy works for the Thieves Guild. So as we're here, the head guy is like, oh, good, you're here. You can help us out with the Thieves Guild quest. So go and collect some of our debt that we are owed. But remember, no killing. Okay, don't need to be so pushy. Yeesh. I, in the meantime, craft a Dragonbone dagger since I'm going to be stealth killing a lot. You might as well look stylish doing it. Well, Astrid is happy with the gold, so we can now take on the Elder Council.
I hope you have something nice to wear, because you're going to a wedding. Well, more like the public reception. It should be a lovely affair. You'll mingle with the guests, eat some cake, stab the bride. Oh yes, you've got to kill the bride at her wedding. And they say romance is dead.
And now with all this wedding speak and random children wanting to be adopted, I kind of remembered that Skyrim is actually a life sim game. Meaning, yes, you can get married. And I thought, who better than my lovely partner, Lydia.
Still here.
And so at the Mara Faithful Church in Riften, you can buy the Amulet of Mara, which you're meant to wear, and eventually NPCs who like you will ask to marry you. Oh my goodness, it's that easy? But I accidentally sold the amulet. Like, come on, man, I forgot the name of it. I thought it was called, like, the marriage amulet. I needed the money to buy the house. Well, that killed the mood, so might as well stop someone else's wedding. If I can't be happy, no one else can be.
You know nothing about us. Nothing.
What an amazing day this
Pretty
has been.
crap wedding, to be honest. Where's the div? So then I stealthily take care of her. Okay, now I'll escape out here. Ah, damn it, it's a dead end.
Astrid ordered me to keep an eye on you. Figured you could use
Oh,
a hand.
phew, that's good. There, we easily escape.
You've started us down a path the Dark Brotherhood hasn't traveled in centuries. The assassination of an emperor. And now your reward. A unique spell to summon a legend of the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh, wow, a reward, yay! So now the Emperor will be arriving to Skyrim. The Brotherhood want to take out a security service where we had to slay the Commander's son and implicate the son that he was going to assassinate the Emperor, causing the dad to spiral and not do his job correctly. And we meant to kill the son in public in a major city. We got to make it as public as possible. So I make my way there.
Cousin of the Emperor was murdered. In solitude at her own damn wedding. Not a chance we would have let that happen here.
Thanks, random guard, for that info. And I find the guy not in the city, and before I can even make my decision, to think, maybe I should sleep overnight to let him travel somewhere public, Lydia just jumps him! No, my bonus! And as I teleport back... Oh no, I'm a vampire now. How will I ever sunbathe again? Well, the Brotherhood has its own problems, as it seems Cicero went crazy and tried to kill everyone before fleeing. And from his journal, we find that there's an unused Brotherhood hideout near Dawnstar in the north. And Astrid tells us to go kill him, even giving us a horse. Also, I summoned that reward they gave me, the secret Dark Brotherhood ghost guy, who can only summon once a day. And turns out he sticks around long after the battle.
The Keeper is a sacred position within the Dark Brotherhood. Ask yourself, do you trust the...
Now's not the time, buddy! But I'm like, okay, this vampire thing is getting pretty weird. People are looking at me strangely, whispering things. I wonder what skincare she uses. So I seek out this guy Fallion, who experiments with dark arts and can actually cure my vampirism.
Requires a filled black soul gem. You will need to kill someone. When you have a gem and have filled it, return to me and I will perform the ritual. I will bring life to your dead body, vampire.
Perhaps we should find a random stranger to murder.
Bro, keep quiet, I am murdering, okay? So yep, we suck the soul into a gem, and the next day perform the ritual to be cured of vampirism, and now be allowed to enter Costco again. And on the way to Dawnstar, another dragon, but this time I learned you can actually do a cinematic finisher on them. Would be nice if they picked a better camera angle. So we find Cicero attack Geralt and we head inside after fighting a lot of traps. See, the clown is injured. He asks us to spare him and lie to Astrid that we killed him. I go,
See you in hell.
so we tell Astrid the good news as we go to continue our assassinating the Empire. As Jim Cummings tells us that this famous chef will be serving the Emperor, but no one knows who it is. We should then pose as them and then poison the Emperor, but first we're gonna find out who it is. And this guy says that the chef is this orc.
Now you'll let me go, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. Wonderful. You're welcome. I'll just be on my way then.
But because of this...
By order of the Jarl, stop right there.
Well, I'm kind of broke with the whole house thing, so... Fine, I'll serve my time. And I thought this game would actually just time skip after my sentence, but oh no. You actually get sent to unique jails depending on the city you get caught in, and you can actually talk to NPCs to plan a jail escape, which is so confusing, like I got an ice pick. Now what?
How am I supposed to get out of jail?
So I just say,
I'm innocent. I changed my mind.
Anyway, I find the orc and kill him. After carefully disposing of the body.
Gross germs, it's all icky and corpsey.
So now all is ready to kill the Emperor. Using the note from the orc's body, we get our way in to then poison the soup.
You're a high elf? Oh, I never would have guessed it.
So many of your recipes are clearly aimed at the common folk.
Hey, come on, my recipes are great. Who wouldn't love to eat this?
Oh my goodness!
And so, with our new disguise, we are Karen, the chef from France. I heard French chefs dressed like this.
Oh, just look at you. Absolutely brilliant. Now you're just as I imagined.
See? So we tell her the ingredients.
Vampire dust? Seriously? Yes, I guess I can see how that would add a more earthy texture.
And follow her as she serves it to the Emperor.
I had hoped it would be. I think something's wrong.
What was that?
Get me out of here!
No, you don't understand. There's been some kind of mistake.
No, the doors are locked! But did you forget I'm super sneaky now?
What was that?
And so I escape.
That man was, by far, the most insufferable decoy the Emperor has ever employed. I'm glad he's dead, but I'm even happier that you killed him.
God damn it! Someone in the Brotherhood sold us out in return for the Empire, not bothering the assassins. But this guy is mad that we killed his son, so he's gotta kill us anyway, then go back on the deal and wipe out the entire guild at the hideout. So we rush back to find the whole place burning and save Nazir, and while the fire engulfs us, the Night Mother says, "Come, snuggle with me. You will be safe in my coffin." And we Indiana Jones nuke fridge that to see, whoa, it actually worked. Where every assassin died except for Nazir and that granny vampire. And we find out the traitor is... Astrid! She says she betrayed us so that she could save the Brotherhood and that her actions are unforgivable, so to kill her. With us now the leader, and the Night Mother still saying, we have to kill the Emperor to regain our honor. And so from her mind, he says the Emperor is about to leave on his ship, so quickly sneak onto it and you can get to him. So as we head to the boat... Bro, not another dragon now, come on, man! Well, we sneak in and slowly take out the guards, and I was really blown away by how many books the devs actually wrote for this game. All this random optional lore, all just scattered throughout each set piece, and most people will ignore it. God, it sickens me that so many people don't like to read. I mean, books are fun! And so we kill the Emperor and flee! Come on, Lydia, hurry up! And so that's done. The Dark Brotherhood set up in this old hideout in Dawnstar, with us being the leader. And you can do random generic assassin contracts from now on, but the main quest is over. You can buy some fittings to kit out your hideout, like a garden and a torture chamber. But man, what a side quest. I was blown away, just like Astrid, because I don't think I ever finished this originally, and all the parts of it were so fun. You're always doing things, rarely just standing there having old men speak to you. And the final twist and betrayal was so unexpected. Man, I sure hope the main quest lives up to the hype. So now I remember another famous quest I did back in the day, the Wabberjack, where you need to talk to a particular NPC outside the Blue Palace here. Yet, he would not spawn. Yeah, no matter what, something I did must have removed him beforehand. Maybe he died, maybe he just got bored of his job, but he wasn't there. So this is a good part of the console command, because you can find his ID online and just spawn him back in, which will continue the quest, saving it all. As it teleports us into the mind of an old emperor who is being tormented by this guy.
How rude! Can't be bothered to host an old friend for a decade or two.
He has us use the Wabberjack to fix up the Emperor's PTSD. And as a reward, he gives us the staff, which is literally peak 2011 lol random internet humor, where it just does random things to people, like here. Maybe that's why the PS3 couldn't run this game. And with the Brotherhood done, I was kind of putting off the main story quest, so instead, I started the Thieves Guild, which is in their hideout in Riften. It's sort of similar to the Brotherhood, but you just do things secretly, and there's no killing, no matter what. I also now bought the Amulet of Mara again from the priest, and wore it, so now that if I talk to Lydia, she will surely want to marry me! We spent so much time together!
I'm right behind you.
Huh. Surely at some point she will have the marriage option, right? I mean, it was weird. We spent so much time together and nothing. And people online clearly say she is marriageable. And so I thought, okay, maybe I gotta like pray to this Mara goddess to maybe do some good for them to get the wedding started. You know, I gotta please the church, which involves a lot of boring quests. The notable things were you got this dude on the table, then you convinced this old wizard to man up and talk to the lady he likes, you know, just spreading love in Skyrim. Or you could just download some mods to spread love that way. Oh god, why are there so many of that kind of mods in this game? Then finally help these two dead ghost lovers reunite. And no matter what, Lydia would not want to marry me! Come on, what more do you want? I bought you a house, I got rid of the vampire in me! Well, nothing else to do but continue the main quest. So, yeah, now we gotta talk to Malborn here, who is gonna sneak us into the Thalmor Elves party, as we're meant to eavesdrop on them to see if they know why the dragons are coming back. Bro, I don't need all this disguise, I'm peak high elf! And this is exactly why I despise the cursor in this game. I have to give Malborn some important items that I'll need for the party, as he's gonna confiscate everything from us so we can just enter, you know, wearing a dress and just looking fancy, no weapons. And then once we meet up with him at the party, he'll hand us back all the important items we need. So what you're meant to do is put your important armor and weapons with him, but when I click on stuff, then go to the other tab, the game doesn't count it and thinks I'm done.
Your job is to get into the party without being
Man, this main story quest is already not looking good. So we sneak into the party and have to mingle around.
The flesh from the bone. Even when every other farm in the hold is barely...
You think rich elves could have spent a bit more money on this shindig? So Malborn gives us our things and we have to find out what the elves know.
Never should have come here.
And escaping is so hard because I'm all alone. You're not allowed to bring your follower, and every guard wants to pick a fight with me. And... Malborn, no! Also, according to the Wikipedia, it's kind of funny that if you're a particular race and you wear the guard's clothing, you can actually just walk on by. Either way, we learn about this person called Esbern and escape. And Delphine says that that was some old blade she was banging and to seek him out in Riften, as she says to find him hidden among the Thieves' Guild. Lady, you don't need to tell me twice. I have a freaking house in that cesspool. And we learn about the backstory, how Skyrim had a great war years ago as the elves attacked and banned any worship of Talos. Man, no one wants to worship this Talos guy. Well, at this time, I also realized I never went to the top right of the map, which is where all the wizards are. But man, this is so far away. So you know what time it is. Console command time. So you're gonna join the Wizard Academy to learn about them. And man, this is such a cool guild! Sarcasm!
In charge of the college, the Archmage's responsibilities often keep him up. Thus, I run the...
Well, after that snooze fest of listening to nerds talk, I have a confession to make. I got tempted to use mods!
You were the chosen one!
Yeah, okay, so if you didn't know, Skyrim is the most modded game in the history of modded games. I mean, just look at how many pages there are of this, and it's for each version of Skyrim. They have mods of everything, from adding a funny dated 2011 joke, to mods that improve the gameplay, and yes, mods to bang your wife too. But I didn't want any improvement mods for this video, because I felt it would kind of defeat the purpose of revisiting the game Todd made in 2011. His godlike vision when he created Lydia.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
I don't want to change that, so I thought, okay, I'll just do a simple hair mod for myself. Oh wait, this one doesn't work. Oh, now it works, and after much tinkering, I finally have a nice hairdo that will someday win over Lydia.
I'm right behind you.
Someday. And so to continue the Thieves' quest, we're going to break into this estate and rough up the place, which means a whole lot of hardcore combat.
What of it? So, is it true bandits get, you know, real friendly with the wildlife?
So the Thieves' quest is to win over this Maven Blackbriar, who is very wealthy and wants to shut down a rival brewery by poisoning their water supply. And guess who it is? It's that boring guy from when you first entered Whiterun. However, this one hair mod turned Whiterun into this! Bro, it was just one mod. Why did it ruin the floor? So I got rid of the mod, which meant this is my punishment for breaking the laws of the game. So yeah, you posted the guy as Alex and say you gotta clean up the giant rats, but you do that, it also tips some poison into the meat, so when the inspector comes, he will go to jail and Maven's brewery will win the contract. Then the thieves, there's like this guy and he's doing something to drive a wedge between Maven and the guild. I don't know, man, it was kind of losing me.
The parchment you recovered mentions a Godgel lie. His real name is Gullum.
So I continued the main quest, which was right also in Riften, to find that Esbern guy. He's hiding somewhere down here. So you bring him out.
And you... What was that?
How you pay for that?
Teach you to mess with me.
I'll try to. And to Riverwood to meet Delphine.
This changes everything, of course.
And while we were listening to this main story quest, my mind wandered. Wow, I really looked cool with that hair mod. I slowly, but surely, the temptation of getting more mods was growing.
Oh, so delicious! I gotta have more! But wait!
So from what I understand, it's Alduin is the evil dragon from the past, and something from the past sent into the future, as he's just a silly little dragon reviving others to mess about the place. And to find out how to stop him, we gotta go to the Skyhaven Temple to find a mural that will tell us a prophecy on how to defeat the dragon. But that wasn't fun to me. As you can see, over 10 minutes of me downloading more mods, yes! I got the hair back, and I did this one that fixed up the faces for some key NPCs to, let's say, improve their facial features. What the hell, it's Belle Delphine. And how does our dear unbudging Lydia look like?
How can I serve you, my Thane? Lead on.
Lead on, sister.
Yeah, you said it, Spectral Assassin! And so on the way we see many things, like 2 dragons fighting. Holy moly, he's coming in like Radahn! Vampires? Oh no, I ain't risking that again. And then another dragon. Then you fight another group of people. Then I finally did the meme. You see how rarely you use the most marketed thing about this game? So after some puzzles and
Eerie stonework here.
we see Delphine's magic powers. And finally we see the mural which says that in the olden times they defeated Alduin with their special shout, and so we have to talk to the old men to learn it. And so the Blades will set up camp here, and any follower you have, you can let them join the Blades and be gone from your side. Lydia, do you want to join the Blades?
I'm right behind you.
I'll take that as a no then. So it's time to ask the old men about the shout.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
Dude,
Yes.
stop being such a boomer. And the old man is literally like, yeah, I don't care if the world dies, stop learning the shouts. And then he just changes his mind.
Dragonborn? Wait. Forgive me, I was...
So to learn it, you gotta head up to the top of the mountain to meet the right-hand dragon of Alduin, Mario. No, I'm not joking, he's Mario's voice actor. And he tells us about
the Elder Scrolls.
Holy moly, those were real the whole time? Yeah, not just a naming scheme for the series, it's actually part of the lore. So Mario says how people use these shouts called dragon wrens that harm dragons. One of them can stop them flying. And that was used on Alduin, but they also used an Elder Scroll to send Alduin forward in time. It was like they couldn't handle him back then and just shot him forward into the future. Let the future worry about having to kill dragons and be too heavy carrying dragon bones. And unlucky for us, to learn about the Elder Scrolls, what their whole deal is, we gotta go back to wizard school. No, I hate everything about that place and all it stands for. In the meantime,
I'll gut you like a horker!
I've suffered worse.
Seeing as how Riften is home to the thieves.
oh hey buddy, I ain't part of that guild, I'm part of the Dark Brotherhood. And I came all the way back here to meet...
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't...
Whoa, this is Mjol and her dog, Denji. And to get her as a follower, you gotta do a long dungeon with robots to get her blade back. And then she can become your follower. And also...
I am. I'd be glad to stand by your side until the divines take us, if you'll have me.
Wow! Wife material too? You're perfect for the Blades! And so we ship her off to the Blades. Don't fret, I was never gonna abandon my quest when someday, maybe when we beat the game, Lydia will acknowledge us and want to marry us, and then head to conventions to couple cosplay together. And just as we offer Mjolnir to the Blades, another dragon attacks. Come on, man, there's a time and place for everything. So back to Riften. Man, they didn't even clear the body of the last thief. No, the house prices are gonna stay down forever. And I finally completed the entire sub-quest line for Mara. So you know, since I won over the entire church, surely Lydia will want to marry me now.
I've got your back.
So I do the thieves quest where you gotta follow this lizard guy, then follow him around to find out any misdeeds he's doing, and it's so long. Bro just walks forever. So he says there's some rogue thief that killed the previous guild master and wants to kill the current head, Mercer. And Mercer is like, okay, let's both go and kill this rogue member together before she kills me, and takes us all the way to this frozen cave.
Things certain I intend to find out before. I have a long-standing arrangement with the Dark Brotherhood. If I need someone in the guild taken care of, we do.
Bro, I own the Dark Brotherhood. So Carlia is the assassin, and they were part of the guild with Mercer and the previous head, Gallus. They were 3 thief leaders until she assassinated Gallus, so yep, the quest about thieves is now about assassinating. They knew they couldn't stay away from the better guild storyline. And after a long dungeon with him, you find Carlia, who poisons us as Carlia flees, and Mercer is like, heh heh, okay, now I can finish you off in the cave. Oh, he was evil? Okay. So that poison saved us, apparently. I'm iffy on the details, as Carlia was actually good, saying Mercer killed Gallus and she saved our life. And this leads us on a long quest where we got to interpret Gallus's old readings, which involves talking to the professor who I hooked up on that matchmaking service with Mara. And would you know it, they actually remember that.
To see it. While I am being an admirer, well, I'm not blind to the fact that you've been instrumental in improving my affairs at the heart.
And we sneak into the museum, and yeah, because of my sneaking practice, I was pretty invisible now.
Where'd you go?
And through this, I met another dragon and finally saw something cool about them. So Carlia has Gallus's notebook to show the guild members to convince of Mercer's treachery, who has now run off with all the money. Also, the 3 of them were these nightingales who were like a secret inner circle in the guild, whose sworn duty was to protect the shrine of Nocturnal. Yeah, I don't know, man, this is all kind of out of nowhere in the guild. I only joined to increase my pickpocketing. And so you gotta sneak into Mercer's mansion where he has a bodyguard, but fear not, the people of Riften love me, and join in.
You call yourself a
So into the house we go. I didn't mean to! Okay, that's a reload. Man, this Mercer guy was a freak.
Oh my, how lewd.
So the guild finally agrees to help us kill Gallus, where the leader Björnolf joins along, and Carlia's like, okay, one stop first, and ropes us into joining the Nightingales. Hey man, I didn't sign up for this. Whoa, hey, that hood is pretty cool. And so as part of the inner cult, we gotta listen to their god speak to us slowly, standing still and not moving.
Your terms were struck long ago. What could you...
Now he's Quacko.
So Mercer has gone into the Nightingale Temple, but we see another dragon and enter, which is a long way down, getting separated, only us in the final room to see their god.
What do we have here?
Oh, mama.
Hey, wait, Carlia, how did you get in here? And so after a fight with Mercer, we kill him, and after an Uncharted-esque escape, we get a boosted skill, and Carlia says bye to Gallus' spirit, and that's the end of the thieves. Not really a lot of thieving in it. Kinda feel a bit ripped off, huh? Well, I put it off for long enough. Time for more main story. Where in the magic school we have to make them believe that we are the Dragonborn.
Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you just someone's errand girl? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest... What about? Wait, I'll bring everything we have.
Well, that was easy. And they tell us the direction of some old guy who's going to tell us where the Elder Scroll is.
I am well. I will be well. Well to be within the will inside the well. You look to your left, you see one way. You look to your right, you see another.
And so to get to the scroll, we go to this dungeon in the far north, and it's one of the longest dungeons around, going down and down till we are underneath the map, and... Not gonna lie, I got the same feelings I did with Elden Ring under their map. Something so magical about this place, and like I said, I have no environmental mods, this is all from the special edition, and it looks stunning. Kind of a shame the quest is just run through here, you don't really do much in the zone. And then after more exploring, where I somehow got split from Lydia, reminder I do have a faster movement speed, I'm all alone and gotta fight all these captured people who try to fight you, but as a stealth pro, it was pretty fun trying a pacifist route and just sneaking by. And so you gotta do this puzzle, which I will be honest, I think I missed the item telling you how to solve it, so I just looked it up, and behold, the Elder Scrolls! And so we tell Mario that we have it, and he's very happy. Hey, wait, I'm trapped!
The Elder Scroll.
So we read the scroll, and it takes us back in time to see the Alduin fight, and how the people use the shout to render him not able to fly, which thus lets us learn the words. And this entire scene, you're just rooted to the spot, and you can only look around. No camera angle changes, as that's how this whole main story quest is. You're just standing still to experience it in first person, not being able to do anything. And as we return, Alduin somehow is here attacking, so we gotta use that spell when he lands to make him drop like a sack of potatoes. After winning, Alduin then flies off to Sovngarde, which is like the Nordic afterlife. Yeah, I don't know, you can just somehow travel there. And thus we begin the final act to get to him. But first, I want to clear up some final side quests. Well, remember that crime scene in Windhelm, where they gotta investigate the serial killer's home and follow the bloody trail? Man, this is more in-depth than Arkham Knight on the PC! And we find the blood leads into this empty house.
I followed these footprints right to this exact spot, and then right where you're standing.
And once I solved the crime, it was this guy. And after he's arrested for the serial killings, what happens to his house?
Here is a fine house, and it's up for sale. You should talk to the steward in the keep if you're interested.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm happy in Riften. Because in Riften, you may get mugged, you may get stabbed, but you won't die. Probably. Well, now to Act 3 of the main quest, which I guess will have spoilers for the ending of the main quest, but like, I know you're not going to ever play the main quest for yourself, because even if you do, it's not the best. So to get to the Nordic afterlife, we need to capture a dragon, and Whiterun has a big enough spot for it, so we need to convince the Jarl. But he's like, bro, if I let people see a dragon attacking my town, those two warring countries, you know, the plot point from early game where I just kind of forgot about, how it's the Empire versus the Stormcloaks, they're both gonna storm in and take over. So first, you gotta make those two countries agree to a treaty, and to do that, we gotta call them both up to the old people's home on the mountain for a sit down. And what happens in this riveting story detail?
To insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
This is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously.
Riften seems
Hey, whoa, I'm awake! Hey, no, Riften's not for sale! Back off my home! And this scene is the epitome of why I believe people anecdotally have not beaten the main story quest. Compared to the other two guilds we tried out, all those random side quests I mentioned, all of them were way more engaging with their plot lines. At least for the most part, you were going to interesting locales, talking to all sorts of people, while here, you're stuck listening to old men talk, and stuck being you cannot move. Which, you know, it can be pretty funny listening to people go senile.
I wanna... No.
But when it's the main plot point of the game, I can easily see why people drop off this quest. Because every single thing you could do, you could be doing something more fun with a random side quest. That is way more enjoyable than this climactic moment of the story. And okay, I know what you're thinking. Yes, the other guilds did have you standing listening to old people too, but the context was so much more fun, as opposed to this old Gramps getting mad at you that you learned a bad word again.
Do my ears deceive me? You two should be ashamed!
Well, you do actually have some say in the bargaining, as you have to make one side given to the other's demands. And it does affect how the map plays out. Say you could give one piece of land to the other, such as giving up Riften, where then I assume the guards would change to the other side's guards for the remainder of the game. You know, small visual changes like that. But they agree to a truce finally and say, okay, go, you can go stop the dragons. So the Jarl will finally let us use Whiterun. And we get a dragon shout to call a dragon to Whiterun. And after using Dragon Rend, we trap it. And it's like, okay, I can take you to that Nordic place just right on my back. Meaning this is the final bit before ending the main story. And so I thought, okay, I need to finish up all these other quests to maybe see if there was some fun out there in the small non-guild events. So I go to Whiterun and talk to your soldier who wanted that mammoth's tusk.
Is that an amulet of Mara? I'm surprised someone like you isn't spoken for.
Bro, everyone but Lydia is hitting on me! And then I make some goofy dragon armor. Yeah, teenage me would have loved this, but I think now I prefer a sleek, stylish stealth outfit. Now, because you freed the orphanage, you can actually adopt those kids. Yep, and I thought, okay, maybe Lydia is a motherly type. Maybe having a kid in the house, she will finally marry me!
It's everything I could have hoped for. I know it's not much. If you see anything you like, please, take it. You've done so much for me.
Who the heck are you? Okay, so like, because I did good in Riften, the Jarl, you know, the sitting one, actually made me a Thane. And you know how in Whiterun, because I was a Thane, that's how I met Lydia in the first place. So yeah, this is Riften's version of the Thane's follower, Iona. And
an amulet of Mara. You're looking for marriage, then?
She wants to marry me day one! Lydia, please, I'm on my knees, why?
I've got your back.
Anyway, amusing thing is that I found out there actually are some certain kids that you can also adopt. If you murder their parents just right, they will become adoptable. That's sick. Why, I would never try that. Just gonna delete the 30 minutes of footage me trying and failing to do that. Well, I tried the boat teleporting quest to find the cult who wanted me dead, and it finally worked, and actually takes me to Morrowind? Ain't that the other game? Oh, so it turns out this is actually a DLC quest included in this special edition, a whole new area to explore with its own story and stuff. But yeah, for this video, I just wanted to talk about the base game, so I won't be touching that. As I return back, Charon then sees... Oh no, I'm not falling for your vampire tricks again! Well, remember that orb thing I got where this voice wanted me to take this to some place in the snow? Well, I do it and so I had to complete a ruin, and I really have to applaud the quest marker system in this game. As when you make a quest active, it will show up in the map saying which door you have to enter, so you at least have a general direction on where to go. It works like 98% of the time, only a few instances there was no elevation on the map. So some quests it was easy to get lost in the dungeon. Like here, I couldn't find the exact spot of the dungeon on the map, but it was a DLC quest, so I was okay with ignoring it. So in Markarth, this guy is like, "Oi, this house is haunted. I'm scared, come with me." And going in... Whoa, it is haunted!
Tear at his flesh.
Oh, okay, it's a bit too much haunted. And there was this quest with Azura and this star crystal, and she'll send you into the crystal to cleanse it of the super evil bad guy. It wasn't that hard. And now she says she will follow us. Lydia, please marry me quick. The gods are tempting me now.
I've got your back.
So, well, yep, I'm done. They were okay quests. I did most of the fun ones already. Maybe the other guilds I never joined could have more interesting things to them, like, you know, the punching people in Whiterun, but I'm content. I saw as much as I wanted to with this game, so let's finish it. Where you gotta ride on the dragon's back, and he takes you to a place filled with dragons. And you gotta open this portal, which will take you to the Norse ruins. And inside there are these Norse god types that are like, oh, okay, cool, come with us to kill Alduin.
Let troubles fade.
And you use this new shout to blow away smoke 3 times in a row. Yes, this is part of the final quest. And then Alduin appears and you use Dragon Rend on him, use it a few times to stun lock him, and you win once his health is gone. Alduin's defeated, the game ends.
Now what?
Yep, that's the main quest of Skyrim done. You beat the final dragon and everyone politely claps. No big CGI cutscene celebration or anything, you just head back and can do more quests. Some people will say, wow, good job, but no special rewards or anything like that. And so with that done, I have one more thing to try. Lydia, after all this time, this whole journey, will you do the honor in becoming my bride?
I'm right behind you. You lead,
Mama, you're home. Could you give me an allowance?
Sweetie, this isn't the time! So that's it, huh? Was it me? Do you not like me? Was it all the killing in the Brotherhood? I swear, there's nothing going on with me and Gerald. Why won't you say yes? And so with that, I turned to my last resort. I married Mjolnir. Bro, take it easy. And so the wedding with Lydia really standing awkwardly close. And Mjolnir moves into our new home with the dog Denji joining in too. So now we got 2 adopted kids. Mjolnir, my wife, Denji, her dog, Iona from Riften, Lydia from Whiterun, and me in this one house. We're one big happy family! And so that ends Skyrim, the main game. But as you can see, dear viewer, I wasn't done with this game. Oh no. You don't get the record of the most mods ever for me to not try it out extensively. And what mods, you ask? Oh, well, how about a Pikachu follower? Or a full Super Mario themed level? Or a spell that lets you shoot cheese? Yeah, okay, that one's not that great. But for this section, I wanted to try out the most downloaded mod package for Skyrim, which contains a ton of mods to install, completely changing a huge amount of things to make it feel like a new experience. Yep, it is time for immersion. Okay, who here hasn't modded Skyrim?
You played like 10 years of Skyrim without modding it?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to mention this now. I swear for years, I heard no one talk about Skyrim, but just this month alone, I have heard Skyrim mentioned in conversation and YouTube videos and Twitch streams like 5 times already.
Bring your...
Stop reading my thoughts, Todd! So mods are a great way to extend the longevity of games. You have fans taking the game they love, using their know-how and fun to customize free content for anyone to enjoy. From game improvement to just silly memes. And yes, the Skyrim team were very accepting of mods. So much so that there actually was a controversy when years ago, they actually had a whole thing with paid mods. Talk about the controversy of paid mods. Bro, I'm doing that. Script me, chill, okay? I didn't forget. Yep, for just, checks notes, 3 days in 2015, Bethesda had a mod system where you could purchase mods for a price, instead of it, you know, being free. The benefit was that mod creators would get some money, and Valve would get some money, and Bethesda would get a lot of money. So like mods with the funny Pikachu, they were all gonna make money off the IP. Oh no, who is that? And with a huge backlash, this was quickly removed, and since then the mod scene has exploded, which is weird because this engine is not user-friendly to make mods. As opposed to, say, swapping out the models that use Unreal Engine, you know, those kinds of games, it's very easy, but people would take the time to make so many creative mods. Some even had their own story expansions, and the one I'm going to be looking at is an immersion mod package that will make Skyrim feel like a brand new experience, changing up so many of the systems, the UI, the combat, and things like that. And for some context, because way back when I illegally got this game, there was no easy way for me to mod it. And I was seeing people online how easy they had it with Steam and the community access. For me, I had to do all this crazy stuff and work with Nexus mods downloads manually, placing in the files in all these folders, and it was so confusing. And so it was really neat to see that now, 12 years later, Nexus mods, they have their own mod manager that will automatically place everything into the right folders for you. There's no real thinking on your part, you just gotta wait 4 hours and it downloads the entire 20 gigs of this mod, which was annoying in that you had to accept every single one, so you couldn't just leave it idle. Well, actually, before the immersion mod, I gotta try a small one out, which adds barmaids to Skyrim, where you can marry them. I still think it needs some work though. Maybe she's just that busy. But yes, the big mod loader immersion has everything from adding paper scratching sound effects to better doors to, well, there's the adult version. And I remember all those years ago, I gave up on Skyrim modding because I tried those mods and they broke my game. So it's kind of a thing now to see all these years later if I could get them to work. Now, okay, that was my whole reason. I just wanted to see why so many people downloaded these mods. Okay, that's my reasoning. And so a completely new menu, I start a new game, and my lord, you get so many options to create a character. You could even emote with them too. and they know how long the original intro story scene was with the dragon and the guillotine, so now you can actually skip it and start at many different points in the game. And they even give you the dragon's own tablet so you can use it for Whiterun to save you the hassle of doing that early quest. And I guess it feels very different when you got more classes to pick from. You can add character backstories and lore. The inventory finally has some sorting to it, but there were some bits that I didn't like with how they removed the level up and new area discovery sound effect. I feel they were kind of iconic to Skyrim and I just felt off with these new sounds. I mean, they also added in first person mode to everything from crafting to even the dragon takedown. This is so disorientating! And it's not perfect because of all this mismatch of mods. It's all a collation of different people's ones. Like say you can get so many armors for the characters, but when you combine them,
now let's move.
man, that looks really good on you. But it is cool to see how characters look in this new engine, as one mod completely did the model types of the characters, adding in more polygons, so characters like Astrid now look
well now
uncrispy. And I should say there is a safe version of this compilation, but that one actually cuts out so many of the other mods that improve gameplay. So it's not the best package, but let's be honest, there's a big reason why this version is so popular.
Oh no, her clothes are coming off!
It's actually quite crazy because they added in more lines for the NPCs, you know, without the voice actors' permissions, but this is before AI could use the voices to make lines. So yep, they did the good old YouTube poop way of mixing sentences together, and as someone who's had experience in that, it's both hilarious and inspiring they managed to make them say this.
Yeah, she's one crazy Nord lass.
And so yep, there's now a full romance system where you can romance the NPCs by doing quests for them. And well, it's a Skyrim romance simulator. Of course people are gonna watch! And yep, romance means Lydia, finally, I have my chance. She will love me now!
I find the concept of sleeping with you morally unsettling.
What? What?
Oh gee, huh? Even modding Skyrim with a romance mod makes me unloved too. Todd Howard! In conclusion, Skyrim really is a one-of-a-kind game. Not just because the next game is going to be so glitchy and not run well for years, needing years of patches and fan fixes that people will just come back to Skyrim anyway, but because I think the year it released in, with the internet meme culture growing, no Breath of the Wild existing, 2011 was the perfect year for it to wow everyone with this new take on the open world formula, and my goodness, it does it so well. Even after all these years, it's an absolutely amazing open world game. The amount of freedom you have to explore and just do whatever, every single NPC giving you random quests that make you want to explore more of the map, random side quests just happening because you wandered off the beaten path, or these amazing guild side quests that have so many cool characters and twists and turns, and yet it has one of the most generic main storylines I have seen in a big game like this. For what it's trying to show, oh, stop these big dragons. So much of it is you standing in place, not being able to move, not letting you have the agency to do things. You gotta stand still and listen. There's so many old men talk. It's just not that fun to me, and I can see why others agree. I mean, even then, the two most marketed things about this game, the dragons and shouting loudly, are so boring in this game. The dragon fights become so overused in the world, often ruining your fun of just exploring the game seamlessly, as oh boy, did I try to run away from them, and it still took some effort with the console command. Then the shouting powers, which have such a big cooldown, and they so much as tickle the enemies unless they are standing on a cliff, which rarely happens. And yet, everything else about Skyrim is so fun. From assassinating figures in the dark, joining vampires or werewolves, exploring many dungeons, trying to romance characters, buying houses, upgrading armor and equipment, helping solve interesting people's problems. I can't tell you how fun it was to not plan any of this, because suddenly halfway through the game, I had this found family team of Lydia and that spectral assassin with these random quips. It just organically came about. I can see why you could easily spend hundreds of hours in this game, including modding it for your own whims of fixing the game, having a laugh, or that alone time on a Friday night. It's all more interesting than the main quest, and that is why Skyrim really is an unbeatable game, because no one really wants to beat it. And that's it from me. Thank you for watching this wild ride through one of the most jankiest, fun, popular games out there. Todd, you mad lad. If you enjoy this in-depth look with a comedic style, I would appreciate a like and sub to the channel. I have many more long videos on different types of games already, and you can follow me on Twitter for updates on new videos. But until then, I shall see you all on the next video.